This presentation of the big game is made possible through the kind support of Tangipahoa Parish Tourism, your guide to the crossroads of Louisiana. North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch. Gateway Ford, Gateway gives the deal. And the Northshore Community Foundation, you can make a difference, we make it easy.
Tangipahoa Parish is home to the strawberry capital of the world and the premier destination for family fun and adventure. Whether you're looking to visit one of our historic museums, grab a bite to eat at our amazing restaurants, or attend an exciting local event, there's always something to do in Tangipahoa Parish. Tangipahoa Tourism is proud to support the Southeastern Channel in its mission to educate and inspire young media professionals right here in Tangipahoa Parish, the crossroads of Louisiana.
Drop, yo.
I think this is a great place to live, a great place to raise a family. This is just a place that we love. I think it is your responsibility to support that community that you're in. And that's something that we've always done here and something we're very proud of. Sponsoring Little League and sponsoring the high school and sponsoring the university. And I just feel like that's as much of our responsibility to be visible in the community and show that we're here and we're a part of what's going on with our neighbors and our customers.
Southeastern's volleyball kicked off their conference schedule this past week here in Hammond. The Lady Lions hosted both McNeese and Nichols. For more on how they performed, here's Big Game reporter Allie Quirk.
The Lady Lions volleyball team started conference playoffs strong in the first two games. They hosted McNeese and Nichols and had back-to-back sweeps, finishing both games in 3 sets. Against McNeese, Kyra McKelvey led the charge with 15 kills, while Alexis Lugbardo added 13 more. Ending the week, India Bennett returned to the lineup with 5 blocks. In the match against Nichols, India Bennett was shining again, posting 11 kills and 7 blocks. Southeastern now holds a season-best .349 hitting percentage for the season. Now riding a 5-match winning streak while being 2-0 in the Southland, Southeastern will look to carry this momentum as conference play continues. Reporting for the big game, I'm Allie Quirk.
3, 2, 1.
The Southeastern Louisiana men's and women's cross-country team traveled to Thibodaux at the 7th annual Nichols Cross Country Invitational. The men and women's team placed 3rd and 5th respectively. Southeastern was headed by 2 Lions with top 10 finishes. Junior runner Ava Patario from Walker, Louisiana, finished in 6th place with a time of 19:20:20 in their 5K course. Tanner Salesman finished with a nice 9th place showing, the 4-mile with a time of 21:43:80.
This past weekend, Southeastern Soccer got their pitch here in Hammond against the Islanders from Corpus Christi, Texas. Southeastern hosted their pack and berry game, and encouraging students and fans to come out and support. For more on their matchup, here's Big Game reporter Avion Dodge.
The Southeastern Louisiana women's soccer team extended an unbeaten streak to 6 matches with a 1-0 victory against Texas A&M Corpus Christi Sunday at the Pack-the-Berry Starberry Stadium. The Lady Lions struck early with a senior Riley Franklin buried a penalty kick in the 10th minute for her 2nd goal of the season. SLU's defense set the tone, limiting the Islanders to just 1 first-half shot, while Kennedy Curran tailed 2 saves on one day. despite a stronger second half push from the Islanders, including 5 corner kicks and several late chances. The Lady Lions held firm to secure their home conference win. SOU finished with 9 shots, while Texas A&M only finished with 8 attempts. That's all for the Pack the Berry soccer game. I'm Avion Dodge, reporting for the
Last season, the Lady Lions tennis team finished with an overall record of 14-9, but they struggled in conference play, winning just 3 of the 9 matches. This year, head coach Jason Hayes will rely on experienced returners while also bringing in 3 new freshmen. Their season gets underway October 8th in Pensacola, Florida at the University of West Florida Invitational.
We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to give an update on the Lions football season, take a look at some Southeastern student tailgating, and talk about some high school football. All things football when the big game returns.
What should I do? I'm exhausted, and this is the last thing I want to do, but I know it's what I need to do.
Priorities can't wait. Don't procrastinate.
Welcome back to the big game. In week 4 of the college football season, the Lions drove 60 minutes up the road to face off against FBS powerhouse LSU. It was a rare opportunity, and Southeastern fans made the most of it, filling LSU's campus and soaking up the tailgating atmosphere. For some sounds around Death Valley, here's Sophia Dang.
How's the environment tonight?
Well, you know, this is, everyone that goes to school at Southeastern and goes to school at LSU, everyone lives here. So, you know, this is just one of those games where it's very friendly. You know, everyone's kind of coming together. I'm here with all of my family. We're very much a house divided. Some of us went to Southeastern, some of us went to LSU, and we're just all out here for the great time.
What do you think the score prediction is going to be?
I'm going to say LSU by a lot, but not enough to cover the spread because I have a big parlay tonight.
Okay. You're an alumni of what year?
2004.
Okay, of 2004. So why are you coming out here today supporting the Lions?
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Last week I was there for the game at Southeastern and had to come over here. It's going to be a great game, and looking forward to seeing the Lions in Death Valley.
And how's the atmosphere? How's the change from going to Southeastern tailgates to LSU?
Well, obviously it's a much bigger scale, but, you know, got my Southeastern friends here and looking forward to a great day.
Since you are in a frat, how is tailgating here at LSU different than tailgating at Southeastern?
Tailgating here is fun. SOU is fun too, but there's a lot more people here. To be honest, I'm not here for the tailgate. I'm here to watch SOU win. That's it.
How's it being a fan now instead of, you know, working with the channel and interviewing like how I am right now?
Well, as fun as it was to like be on the field and like, you know, doing stuff with the channel as like a member of the broadcast team, being a fan, it's like a lot more like, you know, I guess you can do what you want. It's like, you know, you can walk around, like, you know, see anything you want, be in the crowds, and there's no like stress or pressure really. But I mean, I had a lot of fun at the channel too, so.
And what do you think the score is going to be? What do you predict?
Let's do a nice, respectable score of like LSU 34, Southeastern 14.
Okay. All right. What frats are like more hype? Is it more of like the LSU frats because you know this is their campus, or is it more of the Southeastern?
Yeah. So LSU is like by far way better than Southeastern. We don't really have a lot of people there, so the environment here is like way better too. Like if you look, like it's so much people. At ours, it's kind of dead right now.
In 1985. It was the last year that you guys had football, right?
That was correct.
Okay. And now it's 2025, and Southeastern is now playing LSU. That's pretty big. So what are your thoughts about it?
I'm just really excited that we're able to come out here today. The weather's beautiful. We're going to have a good crowd from the Lions, and hopefully we'll be playing respectable, and we'll maybe come out of here with $1 million and no injuries. How's that?
Yeah. What do you predict the score is going to be?
Well, the line's 48.5, but I just hope we keep it close.
Southeastern's equipment staff found themselves in the spotlight after that LSU game. Photos from inside the Tigers locker room started trending on X, and Southeastern's crew was right at the center of it. I talked with the equipment managers to learn more about how it all unfolded. Lion football is back for another fall, and for fans this means anticipation and excitement for each week's matchup. For equipment managers, this means late nights and preparations for a squad of almost 100 athletes. I took a look inside Southeastern Equipment's staff to see what their day-to-day schedule looks like.
Practice just goes as normal, and then it's just laundry after that. Pretty much that's the same routine. Monday to Wednesday. Thursday is when they release the game roster, and then that's when we can start going and getting helmets decaled, helmets fixed, passing out jerseys, getting the trunks ready and all that stuff.
So during the game week, me and Cade's biggest job is making it to practice, being there at practice, and doing the laundry. Me and Cade do a lot of other things other than just football, so our days are pretty packed from Monday through Thursday, but we make sure we do everything we can at the best of our ability. But when it gets to Thursday, we start getting everything ready. We get that travel roster or game roster, get all the jerseys passed out, touch up on all the helmets, decal any helmets that need to be re-decaled or decaled in general, jerseys on shoulder pads, and then Friday, we get all the trunks packed, everything's ready to go, so that way Saturday we can just come in here, chill out and watch college football all day.
For road trips, it's just as much work, as the equipment team passes out jerseys and pants. They make sure that they have everything for the trip, whether that's whiteboards, extra cleats, girdles, laundry bins, and kicker gear. The EQ staff still has a lot on their hands when it comes to road trips. Although these equipment managers work countless hours to make sure their team is prepared for their next matchup, their work does not go unnoticed, as DraftKings, a popular sportsbook, noticed Cade's Twitter post after a blowout loss to LSU. The post containing an empty, clean locker room with the handle saying, "No matter the outcome, always leave it better than you found it." The post became a sensation overnight. The Lions hold a 3-2 record going into their road matchup against Southland rival McNeese, as Cade and his team looks to stay undefeated in the Southland play. Reporting from the big game, I'm Adam Schexnayder.
Most recently, the Lions football team hosted UTRGV in their first Southland matchup of the season. This game made history as it was the Vaqueros' first ever conference game. For more on how the Lions performed, I've got the full story. The Southeastern Lions football team had an interesting last 2 weeks. In a highly anticipated matchup against LSU a few weeks ago, the team came in as huge underdogs on the road at Death Valley, and it showed in their 56-10 loss to the Tigers. A week later, the Lions flipped the script in their conference opener against UTRGV, winning decisively 45-31. A huge win for the Lions to shake off last week and start 1-0 in the Southland. However, Lions head coach Frank Shelfer wasn't very pleased with his team's performance.
It was just sloppy. I wasn't very pleased with everything. I think we had some great moments. I think some stuff was really executed well, especially on the offensive side. I thought we were creative offensively, get some guys, scheme some stuff up. But overall, penalties, had a couple had turnovers. That's just not stuff we do, and that's I think that's the most disappointing thing is that when those things happen, I don't care who you play, you're going to make a game close or you're not going to win the game. And we made it too close to what it should have been.
We'll see if the Lions can clean things up this week on the road against the McNeese State Cowboys. From the big game, I'm Myles.
Last week, the Louisiana High School Athletics Association executives were summoned to the state capitol for a committee hearing with the Louisiana House of Representatives. The representatives questioned the LHSAA on a variety of topics, including the ability to take playoff eligibility from a member school and a lack of transparency as a whole. The House would also recommend a transfer window that would be free for students to switch schools without losing eligibility. After this, the representatives announced an investigation into LHSAA business practices. Time for a break, but when we come back, we're going to wrap this show up with a look at the Saints and a look into the start of the MLB postseason. Don't go anywhere, the big game will be right back.
This presentation of the big game is made possible through the kind support of Tangipahoa Parish Tourism, your guide to the crossroads of Louisiana. North Oaks Health System, improving lives every time, every touch. Gateway Ford, Gateway gives the deal. And the Northshore Community Foundation, you can make a difference, we make it easy.
Tangipahoa Parish is home to the strawberry capital of the world. and the premier destination for family fun and adventure. Whether you're looking to visit one of our historic museums, grab a bite to eat at our amazing restaurants, or attend an exciting local event, there's always something to do in Tangipahoa Parish. Tangipahoa Tourism is proud to support the Southeastern Channel in its mission to educate and inspire young media professionals right here in Tangipahoa Parish, the crossroads of Louisiana.
Drop, yo.
I think this is a great place to live, a great place to raise a family. This is just a place that we love. I think it is your responsibility to support that community that you're in. And that's something that we've always done here and something we're very proud of. Sponsoring Little League and sponsoring the high school and sponsoring the university. And I just feel like that's as much of our responsibility to be visible in the community and show that we're here and we're a part of what's going on with our neighbors and our customers.
Welcome back to the big game. The Saints have gotten off to a rough start to the season. Despite the empty win column, Spencer Rattler has been a bright spot for the Saints offense. For more on their recent matchups, here's Jalil Hutton.
The New Orleans Saints went up against the Buffalo Bills this past Sunday in Orchards Park. The Bills came in at 3-0, and despite reigning MVP Josh Allen's best efforts, New Orleans still managed to play it close, the score at halftime being 14-10. During the second quarter, Saints rookie safety Jonas Sanker forced the first turnover of the season for Buffalo. All in all, the Bills rose to 4-0 and will now take on the New England Patriots on Monday night. With the Saints falling to 0-4, they will now take on the New York Giants on Sunday in the Superdome, looking for their first win of the season. Reporting for the big game, I'm Jalil Hutton.
After bringing home a total of 34 medals, 14 of which being gold at the Olympics last year, Team USA would assemble again for the 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo. For a recap on how the biggest names performed, here is Big Game reporter Kendrick Allen.
The 2025 World Athletics Championships have come and gone, and after a dominant showing in Paris last summer, Team USA showed up in Tokyo, ready to further their domination on the track. Sydney McLaughlin-Leroney had quite the business trip to Japan, and she made the whole world know of that fact, dominating the field in the 400-meter and setting a champion record-shattering 47.78 time while doing so, in an event that the Team USA women have struggled with in the past to the point where an American woman hasn't taken home the gold on this stage since 2017. It wouldn't stop there though, as the heptathlon 800-meter event would also end with a playing of the Star-Spangled Banner thanks to Anna Hall. This is the first time an American has won this event on the championship or Olympic stage since 1993, making Hall one of the 2 Americans to say she has ever won this event. Now over to sprints, in which Team USA would defend their 4x100 crown, as Kayla White, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, Tanisha Terry, and former LSU Tiger standout Sha'Carri Richardson would run the baton across for their second straight gold medal in this event, which may look familiar to many fans, as Wooden, Terry, and Richardson were all also a part of the gold medal ceremony in Paris for this exact run. And with them all being a ways away from the age of even 30, the relays seem to be on lock for Team USA for the foreseeable future. And of course, perhaps the most click-worthy name in track right now, Noah Lyles made history, winning his 4th straight 200-meter championship, making him one of only 2 men sprinters to say that they've had such a lock on an event, the other being Usain Bolt. Now, Team USA members go back to their individual Diamond League seasons and look forward to the next Olympics. For the big game, I'm Kendrick Allen.
After a grueling 162 games, the MLB regular season is officially over and the wild card games have begun. The battle for the World Series is heating up by the day. For more on who's in and who's out, here's Big Game reporter Will Sensley.
The chase for the World Series trophy is officially underway as Major League Baseball's postseason is heating up. The playoffs begin this week with the Wild Card Series kicking off a month-long journey towards the Fall Classic. Teams are battling in best-of-3 Wild Card matchups before moving on to the Division Series and League Championship rounds. This year's postseason has already delivered drama with historic rivalries, clutch performances, and unexpected underdogs making noises. The wild card round kicked off September 30th with 4 best-of-3 series. Detroit Tigers are battling the Cleveland Guardians, while the Boston Red Sox take on their rival, the New York Yankees. In the National League, the Chicago Cubs are facing the San Diego Padres, and the Los Angeles Dodgers have drawn the Cincinnati Reds. However, the series has already came to an end by the Dodgers sweeping the Reds to advance. Meanwhile, the higher seeds in both leagues, Toronto Blue Jays, Seattle Mariners, Milwaukee Brewers, and the Philadelphia Phillies earn first-round byes, waiting for winners from both wildcard rounds to face them in the division series. As the wildcard round wraps, attention now shifts to who will move and which matchup will capture October's spotlight. One of the NLDs has already been set, with the 4-seed Dodgers traveling to the city of brotherly love, where they will face the Philadelphia Phillies. From the Big Game, I'm Will Sensley.
It's time for some pick and roll. Now, Adam, October's here. You know, we got Halloween, fall break, but it's also the MLB postseason, as we just mentioned. 3 out of the 4 wild card games are in Game 3. We'll find out more on who stays alive and who's going home later. But let's get to the only NLDS matchup that is set, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies, the 2 favorites to win the NL this season. What are you looking forward to in this matchup?
So both teams have a power offense, as you see in Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner. You have superstars on the Phillies. You have superstars on the Dodgers. I expect this matchup to be just cinema. Like, you got Shohei Ohtani starting Game 1. You got Chris Sanchez, a very underrated pitcher who should nearly finish second in Cy Young voting this year, right behind Paul Skeens. He had an amazing year. You have a great starting rotation for the Phillies, and also a great starting rotation for the Dodgers with Blake Snell and Shohei Ohtani. And I just expect a lot of offense in this, and also great pitching from bullpens besides the Dodgers. Their bullpen is a little collapsing, but they hope to rebound with that in this NLDS.
Yes, sir. Two well-balanced teams. I can't wait to see it myself.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So the transition to Southeastern Football, what we got here is a 3-2 record. I believe just doesn't tell the story fully. The 2 losses to LA Tech, FBS, and LSU. LSU is LSU. You don't expect much from that matchup except a little bit of money. But what we see in the conference opener and against Valley and Murray State is a lot of offensive performances with also a strong defensive end. What I'm seeing out of the Southeastern team, I don't think it was expected in the preseason, but this team can make a run for a championship. And what do you think about that? Can they beat UIW?
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're 3-2. They're only 2 losses for the FBS teams. I'm seeing a huge difference from this year's team to last year's team. So far this year, obviously there's a lot of football left to play. We got this month, we got November, But as of right now, I'm impressed with their offense, really. Carson Camp, he has been really, really exceptional. DeAndre Jackson at running back. Jalen DiMaggio has really evolved as a true wide receiver one for this team. I'm impressed with their offense. They average 31 points per game. The difference with this offense, they're one-dimensional. They can beat you in so many ways, and their defense is very opportunistic. They can force turnovers. They can put the pressure on you. And, you know, obviously there are teams like UIW, Nichols, like those top, I think those are the two teams that I can actually see beating Southeastern up to this point, obviously. Yeah. But, you know, yeah, as you mentioned, like, I really think they can make a run in the Southland and obviously in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, surprising stat is the QB Kyle Lowe leads the team in rushing, not no running backs.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, they have a 1-2 punch at quarterback. So that just goes to the point of saying that they're more than just a one-dimensional football team. That is a crazy stat, though. Yeah. But obviously, like I said, they're playing great right now. They have McNeese this week, bye week next week, so time to regroup, and then there's homecoming. So it's getting to that stretch where they're playing the Southland, and it's going to get tougher and tougher each week. So we'll see how they respond.
There's going to be some fun matchups. Yes, but going into college football rankings, we got LSU dropping 9 spots after a loss to Ole Miss. What is your reaction to that? I
mean, you know, it's tough to play on the road, especially against an SEC team like Ole Miss. Like, obviously, it's early. No need to freak out. No need to panic. You know, I think the actual playoff rankings doesn't start until like November. Yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of time. Obviously, LSU's on a bye week right now. You know, obviously, their offense needs to clean up a little bit. Yeah. You know, very inconsistent on the offensive side. Defense looks really, really well. Obviously, you know, in key situations against Ole Miss, they just couldn't get them off the field. But, you know, yeah, I think LSU, I think they'll respond. I think they have South Carolina after the bye week. You know, I think they'll respond well at home. And more so to Southeastern. Like, they're getting to the stretch where they're playing they're in conference play. Yeah. We know how the SEC is. They still got to play. They still got to play Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a really good team. Yeah. They still got to play Alabama. They still got to play Oklahoma. You know, so it's going to get tougher. But as of right now, you know, if you're an LSU fan worried about the rankings right now, no need to panic. You know, just still a lot of football left. I still think they can make a playoff run, but obviously things need to change, especially offensively.
Yeah, what you see in this LSU team is like the offense is now struggling, and the defense is performing amazingly. In 2023, we saw the polar opposite of that with Jaden Daniels' Heisman season and a star receiving group. But now you see the polar opposite of that this season with now a good defense and a struggling offense with Garrett Nussmeier. But another topic is the Ohio State defending champs deserving number 1. I think they do. But a issue I see with this team is them in their rivalry against Michigan. Last 4 matchups have been losses. What does Ohio State need to do to solidify this win and stay undefeated to get into a number 1 seed?
Well, if you notice, you know, it's a 12-team playoff now. So, like, a loss to Michigan for Ohio State, it doesn't really mean that much. You know, it doesn't really hurt them that much because, it's, you know, obviously they can still get in the playoff by losing Michigan. Basically like last year. Like last year, they lost to Michigan, still got in the playoff, won championship. But obviously, yes, you have to beat your rivals. You know, I just feel like it's coaching. I just feel like, you know, when you play somebody that you hate, a rivalry game like that, it gets chippy, you know. And you know, it's mental. It's mental. So for Ohio State to go over that hump, obviously, you know, I think because last year's team was really, really good, you know. But this year's team, I just feel like, you know, their confidence level is, you know, way better than we expect, you know. So, and obviously, it's not just Michigan they have to face. They still have to go through a team like Oregon. You know, they still got to go through Penn State. They still got to go through Indiana.
Yeah, a lot of ranked.
The Big Ten is tough.
Yeah.
Just as tough as the SEC. So, you know, it's not just Michigan they have to worry about. They have to worry about all the other teams. But, yes, obviously, you know, I think that the thing that needs to change for Ohio State is their mentality going into games like Michigan. Yeah. So I just feel like if they fix that, because they have the talent, if they fix their mentality, I think they'll get over the hump this year.
Okay. Last topic here, Texas A&M. I think is debatable as one of the best SEC teams, but not right now. With Ole Miss with a dominant win against LSU at home. But A&M, they have an elite offensive line, a physical rushing attack, and an elite defensive linebacker group with Teron York and Scrooby Williams. What is your opinion on these two?
Texas A&M as a team, they're more so, they're like what I said about Ohio State, the confidence level, right?
Yeah.
Mike Lobo, he's in his second year now as head coach. Last year, obviously they lost Notre Dame in the opener at home. This year, they go to South Bend at Notre Dame and they beat them in overtime, like 41-40. It's confidence level. And I think this is more about Marcel Reed, the quarterback for Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I think this team starts and ends with him. This team is going to go wherever he takes them. And they also, like I said, we talk about the scheduling, conference play. They still got to go through a huge gap as well. They still got Texas on their schedule. They still got, I believe they got Florida on their schedule. They got LSU. They still got to come to Death Valley. But, to me, I feel like the SEC is wide open. Anyone can take it.
Yeah.
Anyone can take it right now. Obviously, we've seen Bama go on the road to Georgia, win that game. We talked about Ole Miss, LSU. There's a lot of teams on the rise in the SEC like Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has a huge opportunity to shock the college football world going on the road to beat Alabama. Obviously, to answer your question about SEC taking the top spot in the SEC, they can take it, but so can others. So
there's plenty of teams.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but hey, it's college football at the end of the day. Unpredictable things happen. We just have to see how things play out.
Yep.
Yes, sir. That'll do it for this episode of The Big Game. For more information on Lion Athletics, visit www.lionsports.net. And for more information, visit us at thesoutheasternchannel.com. So from Adam Schexnayder and the entire Big Game crew, I'm Myles Edwards. Thanks for watching and see you next time.